Good morning. And firstly, Dr. Mungekar, Mr. Kajuria, Mr. Kakkar, Mr. Panwalkar, Mr. Govind, and my friend, new friend, Dr. Miss Natarajan. The most important of all, all of you. A very warm welcome to Sophia College and to Sophia campus, really, more than the college, because you're really in the auditorium. It's an honor to be here today, and I think I don't want to take a very long time over this, but I would like to concentrate just on 2 points. Your topic, your title of this event is Speak for India. And I think both those terms are extremely heavily laden. To speak. To speak, to begin with, is something that we start out in life with. We start with trying to articulate, making strange sounds, and slowly the word takes shape. Slowly a word and a concept in our minds connect. And we learn that there are names for things, that there are connections between things. Language itself establishes communication, connections. It allows us to transmit what is in our hearts and in our minds to the hearts and minds of somebody else. But that's not all. Every time we open our mouths, every time we speak, we reveal something of ourselves. Something comes out with those words. If those of you who read Agatha Christie will remember that Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple keep talking about how just chat with people and sooner or later you will understand who they are. It's true. The more we talk, the less we can conceal who we really are. Because our words are channels for self-revelation as well. And that's particularly important for all of you, my dear students. Because as you get into this adult world, of course you're all adults, I'm sorry, of course. You're not children anymore. But you are at that brink that you've just stepped over the threshold into the adult world. And there is something about adulthood which means taking responsibility. You are accountable for what you have said. You can be put in jail for what you have said. Dr. Mungekar spoke very powerfully of the way in which student movements have been able to transform societies, overturn governments. They have also at times brought upon themselves the complete destruction that comes from a very totalitarian government, as we saw in Tiananmen Square in China. So it takes courage to speak. It takes courage. It takes commitment. You have to really believe in what you're talking about. Only then will you stick your neck out, will you take that risk. Some years ago, when we had the Delhi rape case, at Sophia the students were really churned up, and they started a movement that they called breaking the culture of silence. In other words, speaking up for what they believed, bringing about a change in society. That's what you're being invited to do at the moment. So that was the speak part. But it's not just speak for myself, it is speak for India, which takes the entire process onto another dimension altogether for you. It invites you to look at the world around and engage with it, with your dreams, with your hopes, with your aspirations, and students with your disgust, if it requires that, with your anger, if it requires that, all of that. Huge commitment, no? Huge job ahead of you. I want to end with something that my own students will be fed up of hearing me here, because I think I say it time and again at umpteen things, but the rest of you haven't heard it, so it's okay. These are some lines from Louis Macnice, where he says, what is it we want really? For what end and how? If it is something feasible, obtainable, Let us dream of it now and pray for a possible land not of sleepwalkers, not of angry puppets, but where heart and mind can understand the movement of their fellows, where life is a choice of instruments and none is debarred their natural music, where the waters of ice of life are free of the ice blockade of hunger, and thought is free as the sun. That is the future that we dream of for you. That is the future I pray that you will be able to envisage and work for. God bless.